Pause button. Welcome to the SAT Algebra Department part of the SAT program. This is 6.2, solving multi-step linear equations, and believe it or not, there's not really much of a equation for this, but it's basically you have to get the variable on one side and the constant on another side. So just say like that was it, and that's how that would be the finished product of said equation. So then for this one, what we would do, it works just as if you were solving for x with a normal equation until you get to graphing. So basically all you have to do is here minus 5, cross it out, minus 5 on that side. You bring it down, 3x is greater than or equal to 4x minus 14. So once you have that, you have to get 4x over to that side. So minus 4x, and both sides equals negative x is greater than or equal to negative 14. Now this is where it gets a little bit weird, because you have to get x like not a negative, so you would multiply by negative 1 on both sides, and whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number, this right here flips whichever way it's going. So this would be x is less than or equal to 14. And that would be what the answer is. And then to graph it, if you look over here, it's really simple actually. All you have to do, you take the constant and you put it on the graph. And since x is always less than or equal to 14, what you would do is put 14 on the graph, and then all these little lines will just say this is like 12. So put that on the graph like that, and since x can be 14, it's going to have a dot that's filled in, and then you just shade the whole one side of the line graph. Now I'm going to hand it over to Ben for the next example.
Hello, this is Ben, and I'm going to be completing the next problem. So here we have an inequality that says 4y minus 10.8 is less than y plus 13.2 minus 3y. So what you want to do is you want to simplify this. So first what you would do is you would make this into 13.2 minus 2y, and then you would bring down everything else, and then it would be like this. And then you would have to move either the negative 2y or the 4y. I'm choosing to move the 2y by adding 2y to both sides. And then what you would do here is you would have 6y minus 10.8 is less than 13.2. So now what you would have to do is you would have to move the negative 10.8 to the side with the 13.2. So what you would do here is you would add 10.8 to both sides, and you would get 24 is greater than, technically, well, less than 6y. I'm sorry. And then you would have to divide both sides by 6 to get y by itself. And you would have y equals 4.
Hey, Danny's back. Did you ever notice that the mistake Ben made? We actually did that on purpose. Right here, where he put equals, that should really be less than. So the real equation is y is less than 4. And so since we have that equation there, um, to graph that, if I'm gonna just make a little space right here so I can graph it. To graph that, what you would do, since y is always less than 4, 4 cannot, y cannot be 4 on the line. So there, you make a open circle because since it can't be 4, you don't shade that in because whatever's shaded in, that's what y can be. So here we'll just make this like 3, I guess. Now, you just shade in that part because y is all real numbers that's less than 4. So it'd be like 3, 2, 1. It could be -1, anything lower than 4. Now, the next one is, this one I already had typed out because it was kind of long. It's if you own a watermelon stand, before opening shop, you bought 10 melons for $13. If you are selling each melon for $2 each, how many melons would you have to sell to make a $5 profit? Now, to put this in an inequality, all you have to do is, now 2 is for each thing that you're putting down, and x equals how many. So when you're writing this, it's 2x, and then it's actually 2 times x, so keep that in mind. And then since you already paid $13 minus 13, and you want to make a $5 profit, so it has to be greater than or equal to 5. Now, once you have this written out, you can solve it just like an equation, basically. You do plus 13, crosses out, plus 13, and down becomes 18 is less than or equal to 2x. I accidentally wrote that backwards. Alright, so now that you have that, all you have to do, you have to get the 2 away from the x. So you do divided by 2 on both sides. And if we bring that up here, x is greater than or equal to 9. And basically what that means, all you have to do to make a profit of $5 is at least sell 9 watermelons. And that is multiple step inequalities.